Hello and welcome to this beautiful evening. Today is a beautiful Wednesday, and I am here live again from my official Insta handle, Shaina's Mystic World. Today I am here not for a solo live, but for a conversation, a beautiful conversation with a very special friend of mine. She's a beautiful soul and an amazing human being. I am talking about Yashna. She is a spiritual life coach, and today in this special session of Live at 5, we are going to talk about the magic of spiritual mindset. Before that, I would love to tell you that today is summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year. 21st June today is, and it has a lot of spiritual meanings and spiritual energies around it. So now I want Yashna to send me the request to join so that I can have her on live with me and start this beautiful session and this conversation. Yashna, if you can see me here, you can join me for this conversation and let's talk about.
Okay, so I hope Yashna is. Hey, Yashna.
Hi, Shaina.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good, and you are shining bright just like the sun today.
So are you? Thank you for having me. This is my first live, actually. I'm really excited.
Oh, awesome. So let's put an intention to the universe that this live opens up more doors of abundance and prosperity for you as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, first of all, Yashna, for coming up, showing up, and for agreeing to be my guest of the day. I would love all of you who are watching to share this live with as many people as you can, because today we are going to talk about a topic which is very popular these days, becoming a part of the pop culture. Spirituality used to be a topic for the aged ones earlier. Nowadays, a lot of youngsters, a lot of people in their mid-journey are accepting and becoming a part of this, whole system. So before delving deep into this whole conversation, please tell us something about you, Yashna, so that people can get to know you a little more.
Right. So first of all, thank you for having me again, Shaina. And Shaina, you and I started our coaching journey together. And we were accountability partners as well. I remember that very clearly. And I did hospitality, and then I moved to marketing, and I was working with a tech company in marketing. And then suddenly something happened in my own personal life, which was very moving. I already had anxiety. I was dealing with anxiety, and it's not very talked about in our society. So even my parents didn't know about it, and I was dealing with it on my own on a personal level. But untimely and unexpectedly, I lost my mom, and it was very sudden to me, and that was a rabbit hole I couldn't come out of. And that was the time when that strong grief pushed me towards spirituality, because I tried everything. I tried healing, I had tried therapy, I went to so many therapists, and it did work, of course, because I had chronic anxiety. It did work to a certain level, but there's only a certain point till which external things could help me, right? Like a doctor telling me that I'm fine. Like, I was physically sick. During the first lockdown of COVID, I had moved back to India, and I was physically sick, and all my lab tests were normal, and my dad couldn't understand what's wrong. So then I realized it's something deeper, and it's something that I need to heal on my own. I need to explore on my own. And that's when I started learning about how to heal your gut through chakras, or how to heal your anxiety through meditation. And with these, connecting these little dots, I reached a certain stage where I realized that I have the power. So there will always be mentors, there'll always be gurus, there'll always be family and friends who would be there to help you through everything you're going in life, be it small or be it big.
Exactly.
But the deeper power lies within, and that's how I came into spirituality. And when we started coaching together, after that I worked in the field of mental health, and I was working with a mental health app. And there I did my job and realized, okay, now it's time for me to move on from there as well. Because I just had this strong feeling, even though I'm very comfortable in this role, and it's amazing, and you're driving up that corporate ladder, but you're not very happy within. So I reached that point
Exactly.
where I felt like again I'm losing that balance, and then I
Hmm.
quit my job, took some time off, and then entered spirituality as a spiritual life coach. And then now finally I'm living my dream of helping people to give them those tools which helped me. And I'm not saying that I'm a teacher or a coach. In a way, I'm a lifelong
Yes.
learner, and in
Hmm.
that way only you can facilitate healing for others. So that's a little something about me.
Exactly. And I think I can so relate to your story, Yashna, and I think we have a conversation earlier as well, because very similar things happened to me. I was
Yes.
working in media, which is totally different, genre, very different field. It is very outgoing, outward journey it was.
Right.
And when I felt that void within, I started learning healing techniques. I still remember the first technique that I have learned in my life was EFT, and
Right.
I was so
Exactly.
inclined towards it because it says emotional freedom technique, and that was the first. It was just a little ray of hope that um, attracted me. और मुझे लगा कि कुछ तो बनेगा. And the moment I started my healing journey, and I started to manifest that magic in my life, I felt, oh my god, if it is working for me, it can work for others as well. And I don't know how we shift ways, and we
Exactly.
came into the spiritual thing. Okay, so you just said that we started the coaching journey together almost at the
Together.
similar
Right.
time. uh, for me, I was very clear since the very beginning that I'm going to go and become a spiritual life coach, because my inclination was like that. Were you very clear that you are going to be a spiritual life coach, or you just found it in the way?
I wasn't very clear, to be honest. I was like, okay, I like helping others while helping myself. So I did explore a lot of things like self-love, this, that. And later, when I told you, like, the pain got so much, even though I thought I have it in me to teach others, but I was miserable myself. And
Hmm.
I literally was like, I have everything. I'm like best of friends, best of family, comfortable house, everything's there, but still I felt, why am I still feeling that lack of, I'm not happy or living out of
Yeah.
fear. So after I lost my mom, I thought I should become fearless, right? Because I've lost the biggest thing of my life. Like, what can be worse than this? But still, I had
Yes.
so much fear that every time I was happy, I started feeling, I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose this. And it happened so suddenly that I couldn't, my body's still processing it, even though it's been 3 to 4 years now. So
Yeah.
then I was like, okay, then I went to spirituality. I went for a yoga teacher training to Kerala in March, April to Shivananda Ashram. And
Okay.
it wasn't just about yoga, and today's yoga day, so happy yoga day, everyone.
Yes, exactly.
So it was, I'm not the most flexible person. I have my own issues, like some injury in my leg or injury in my back, but still I just went for it because yoga just meant so much more than that asana practice. Like how everyone has glamorized it just to be how flexible you are, or how cool your athleisure wear is, or so it's so much more than what we see it on Instagram. Or
Exactly.
every time I used to even do yoga, I used to compare my practice with everyone else's. And why am I not flexible enough? Why am I not able to do yoga as this person X or person Y? But then when I went there, it was really connected to spirituality, to how there are so many parts to it. And that's when I realized it's yoga means union with God. And that's how I was insight towards spirituality, in a way that we are one with the consciousness, and just understanding that we are so much more than our fears, the way everyone puts us in a box, the society puts us in a box. And like the basic point I realized, Shaina, was when we were born, we were so happy. Like when you were a kid, you don't have to do anything to deserve that love. Like if there's a baby in the house, nobody expects them to do anything. They're just loved. They're loved for being themselves. They love for giggling. They're loved for playing. And that's how all of us were born. We deserve so much love and so much support and so much, we're so enough as we are. But as we grow, the point comes in where the society fits in norms within you. You learn, okay, somebody
True.
says, oh, you're fat, oh, this person's dark, or this person, you're not enough, or you girl, you can't do this. So I realized how much wiring is there within us, which keeps us away from being our true authentic selves, and we are enough in any moment. And that led me to spirituality, because I don't think I can ever separate coaching with spirituality from spirituality, or life from spirituality anymore, or any of my relations from spirituality anymore. Because the whole
that's so beautiful. Yeah.
Sorry, please go on.
No, it's okay. It was very beautiful, and I'm actually getting to see those, sparks of happiness and love inside of you, Yashna. When I met you, there is a lot of difference in that Yashna and the Yashna that you are today, and that's the magic of spirituality. Whenever you start to live a mindful life, and when you start to understand, tap into the essence of spirit, which is spirituality, life changes. You just mentioned yoga, and the other day I was having a class about sacred geometry, and how sacred geometry leads us to live a mindful life and a spiritual life. There I was just, out of the context, I was telling my student that even when we are doing yoga postures, we are actually tapping into the sacred geometry, because our body, it creates certain patterns, and patterns have a direct relationship with the vibration. So that's a different matter, but yes, that is how everything is interconnected. And when you start living life of purity, authenticity, and you start to honor your body, your mind, and your spirit all together, you become spiritual.
Exactly what you just said, like how physical exercise keeps your physical self healthy. Spiritual work keeps your spiritual body healthy.
Exactly.
And this is just our one body. Like, I can see you, you can see me. This is my physical gross body. And then there is a subtle body, which is your energy body. And then there's a causal body, which goes on in every life with you. And exactly when we're talking about yoga, or any other meditative practice, it's spiritual work, which is keeping your spiritual body healthy. Like, it's improving your energy. And this particular body is just vehicle for your soul in this life. Just to understand that and see much more than this body is what really fascinated me towards the whole concept.
Exactly. This body is just a vehicle, or just a medium to take tangible things in account. And use the energy tangibly. That's the only point what I see physical body as. And I would love all of you who are watching right now, you can also write your questions if you have any around the conversation that we are having, or if you have anything to add on, please feel free. And I know that people are very smart these days. Everybody has their own experience of spirituality, and of course as coaches we are lifelong learners. Maybe आपसे हमें कुछ सीखने को मिले, तो please आपका inputs and questions keep on writing in the chat box, and make it a two-way communication, right? So it will be a more interactive session. Okay, after coming again back to the topic, yes, Yashna, there is a very thin line between being mindful and being spiritual. How do you see that? What according to you is mindfulness, and what according to you is spirituality?
So as for me, when I was just coming from a psychology point of view, being mindful is just being aware. Being aware of the present moment. And then now I put mindfulness in the part of spirituality for me. Like, my mindfulness I consider as a part of spirituality. Of course, scientifically they are very different topics, but in just my personal practice, being mindful is a spiritual practice for me. So for example, I'll give you an example of how I started controlling my thoughts when I got anxious. I give this I give this analogy a lot, that imagine whenever you're having intrusive thoughts or negative thoughts, that you're standing in your balcony and you are just seeing the traffic on the road. Now, do I have any control? Even though I'm in my house, in my own balcony, do I have any control about the traffic on the road? No. The cars would keep going on in any direction they want. And I have zero control. I can only be if I want, like I can get engaged with it and that will just bother me, or I can just be an observer. So every time
Yes.
I start feeling like I'm not enough, or I'm a failure, or I'll fail, I start noticing it as an observer. And I guarantee you, if you just sit with that feeling without panicking or without spiraling into how you collect evidence of how I failed in the past, how I'll fail in the future or in the present. If I just sit with it, okay, I'm feeling this thought that I'm having this thought right now in the moment that I'm a failure. Okay. In 15 minutes it'll pass. Like you won't feel the same way if you detach yourself without engaging with it. So that really, really helped me. So being mindful has become a part of my spiritual practice, and being aware, being in the present moment. So feeling that I'm safe. So Power of Now really helped me with it. That feeling that I'm safe in this moment. Every time I feel that something bad is gonna happen, something bad is gonna happen, I just remind myself, okay, right now I'm sitting in this place where I have my loved ones around me, or I have somebody who I relate to, who's my safe person in this moment, and I have a roof over my head. I'm fine. Everything in this particular moment is telling me that I'm safe. I don't know about the future, but right now I'm really safe and it's fine.
Yeah.
So that really helped me. So how mindfulness helped me in my spiritual practice is what I'm trying to say.
Awesome. This was really, really beautiful. And we have a question. Divya is asking, what is the one spiritual practice you would want people to incorporate in your daily routine?
Okay, so something very basic and easy that helped me a lot. Like, you can't expect people to go and sit and meditate in the first place. Of course, connection with breath and your body is super important. But something that really helped me to concentrate was mindful walks. So you just walk without your devices, and just repeat a mantra in your head, or something that you relate to, any universe, God, whatever.
Affirmation,
so, affirmation, and just keep repeating it and walking. And observe. If you're going for an outdoor walk, you can observe trees, you can observe the scenery, you can make an intention that I'll find 3-4 things I'll be grateful for, or I'm grateful for. Like, if you see a very beautiful flower, or if you see a beautiful river, or if you see the sunset, that's amazing. So just collect these things, again connecting mindfulness and meditation with an activity. I think that really helped me. Super, super, super easy also. Just walk mindfully. So it moves your body, and as soon as you move your body, your static energy starts being released. Like, there's no stagnant energy in the body when movement is incorporated, and your thoughts immediately change. That's what I would say you can try.
Yeah, Yashna, I would love to add here. I've started this practice of, going to a walk with my son every day, and he's around 12 years, 13, almost teen. How these teens are, very a little tacky to handle. So I asked him that we need to go on a walk every day, and we are going to go without gadgets. No, I'm not going to pick my phone with me, and you are not going to have your iPad with you. So we are going to do that as well. One day he went with me. I was like, okay, we were talking, and next he was like, I've got bored, Mama. Can I pick up the phone? At least we can, use some music or something like that. And what I did was, in our colony, we have a lot of flowers, outside every home. There's a lot of plantation everywhere. So what I did was, I asked him to, whenever you pass this flower, you'll just say hello to a flower. Just that. You just need to do that, that we'll say hello to every flower that will come in our way. Trust me, Yashna, it was such a beautiful feeling. And when we came back, we were so light and happy, because some way or the other way, we were tapping into the vibration of those flowers.
Exactly.
They were blooming, the vibration, the energy of the flower, the color of the flower. As you know about the chakra system, every chakra has a particular color, and every color, when you see it, and when you mindfully see it, has a certain impact on your mind. So there were yellow flowers, and there were red flowers, and there were, greenery, and there was, and then he used to see, okay, what flower is this, Mama? When we used to come back and we used to pick. Yes, it was such a beautiful way of connecting with the Mother Earth,
Nature,
with the
exactly.
nature,
I'm gonna note that down.
and our relationship with each other grew so beautifully, because earlier we were talking that this friend of mine, he did this to me, and I was like, okay, Papa said this to you, and this, it was all very worldly
Right.
conversation me and my son was having. After that, it was more about, and then one day he was like, Mama, can we see hello to the moon as well and the stars? Which star is this? And we actually started connecting more to the nature,
That's
and
amazing.
it was beautiful.
But it's
And I
so
think
important, right? To connect with nature
you just,
because, sorry, please
yeah.
go ahead.
No, it's fine, it's fine. The point I was making is that, you know, sometime as somebody also else also asked, what should be the one activity and what should be the first step towards spirituality. I don't think so. People need to learn spirituality. Everything
It's
that
a
you do with
basic
a very
nature.
pure intention is spirituality. It
Exactly.
can become your spiritual practice.
So we literally came from nature, right? And earlier
Yeah,
everyone just lived in nature. And now suddenly we spend our lives thinking, adding logic to everything, and
yeah,
analyzing, planning. And I just feel, when was the last time we went out, hugged a tree, sat
mm,
under a tree, or just
yeah,
listened to the birds? I feel just connecting back with your roots and nature would help so much. And also spirituality is ingrained, as you said. It's already in
yes,
our system. It comes for everyone at a different age. Of course, with Instagram in the picture, Twitter in the picture, there's a lot of awareness of how you can make your lives better or use those tools. But still, earlier it used to happen that our dadis and nanis used to be the ones just reading the
yes,
scriptures or just telling you about things or God. But it's up to you. It doesn't have to be God. It doesn't have to be a religion. It can be anything. It can be, of course, if you're religious, great. If you're spiritual, great. But it's just
mm,
an urge within, is what I've
yeah,
realized. It's literally a calling that comes from within. And the whole point
yeah,
is, you should be ready to listen to it when it comes. Like, and as you
yeah,
listen to it, be it your intuition, your gut feeling, and as you listen to it, you hone it. I used to be this person, China, used to be like, and I don't know if I still am, my loved ones would know, but every decision you question, right? That self-belief, that lacking made me realize, okay, I'm not listening to my own voice, because I would literally ask 100 people before doing anything. Do you think
mm,
I should do this? Do you think it's right? Or even deciding
yeah,
a dish, like, deciding a place to go to eat or what to order.
yeah,
And these little decisions, I felt, why am I this person who is not able to make those little decisions or bigger decisions? Why do I need everyone's validation? And spirituality has really helped me to listen to my own voice, to see my own
yes,
vision, to see my own purpose. Like, someone's reality of me is not my own reality.
yes,
Someone's perception of what I should be doing
beautiful.
with my life is not. Like,
Mm,
you can
mm,
do
mm,
different things, you can have your own beliefs. And from this, I also want to make a very important point, that we hear this word a lot, like pattern breaker. Like,
yeah,
millennials are emerging as
mm,
this generation of pattern breakers. It's so important, because it's not important like what my mom did, even though it was my best friend, she was my best human
mm,
being. It's
mm,
not important I need to do the same thing. It's not important what my daddy did or nani did or what my mother-in-law used to do. Like,
mm,
that's not the norm. And
mm,
I'm turning this to a woman angle, because I feel so many of my uh, people that are close to me, women that are close to me, struggling to put their point
yes.
across or put their beliefs across, because they don't know what's their own truth. Should I do
Even the
what the
strongest
society,
ones.
exactly, should I do what the
Yeah.
society expects of me? Should I do what my family expects of me? And I was
Mm,
just so tired of keeping everyone happy and fitting in those
mm,
shoes of what people wanted me to be. So
mm,
spirituality really helped me put my foot down and stop being a people pleaser, putting myself first. Again, from the coaching culture we come from, fill your own cup before filling anyone else's.
mm.
And now I'm
True.
not scared to say no.
Yeah.
Like, I do
Yes.
not, of course, I'm very empathetic, very compassionate, but I do not care what you think is right. And
Mm.
that's not the truth I believe in. I, of course, respect everyone's
Yes.
perspective. But finally,
Yes.
I'm able to see what's right for Yashna and what Yashna should do. And again,
Exactly.
that has
And
helped me to skip the FOMO bit completely. Like it's always now joy of missing out because I'm choosing those things to see.
exactly. I think one thing, one little point that spirituality breaks is the need of validation. The
Exactly.
moment you start getting actually spiritual and not the spiritual in a Instagram way, sorry to do that, sorry to say that,
But
because of
there's
course,
no right or
when,
wrong way. I feel like there's
yeah,
no just do
yeah,
whatever. Like just
huh,
believe in
but
yourself and do whatever.
yeah, but actually, if it is happening in a purest form inside of you,
Right.
you will not feel the need of validation.
Exactly.
If you are still needing anybody, if they're still needing the feel of validation, trust me, something is missing in the journey. So please try to tap into that. With that, I also reached to another question which popped up when you were when we were talking about women. There is a big wave of awakening of the yin energy, the goddess
Yeah,
energy, you would say,
that's
or
so
the
true.
feminine energy that you could say. We started progressing a few decades ago. We had the people, the females of, or the ladies of our mother's age or Dadi's age who
Yeah.
did amazingly well in the corporate world, in the media world, and all those stuff. But still, the need of remaining the second citizen, or that, or guilt of running a little faster
Yeah.
than the male or counterpart is there. You can't deny the fact that as a fact.
But
But now the things,
again,
I think for last 2 3 4 years I've seen a बहुत ज़्यादा changes, especially in the post COVID era. What I'm seeing, a lot of females, a lot of yin energy is waking up. What is your take on that?
it's because again wiring of the society. So first you were like, okay, your job is just to cook or take care of the children or bear children. Then again changing the narrative with feminism coming in the picture, we started competing with men. Like,
Yes.
everyone started running in the rat race and started proving that we are no less. But we didn't have to prove that in any way. We weren't any less in any of the way. We were literally feeding this idea that we are not less to the people who created this idea.
Yeah.
So now again, I feel that women are becoming very aware with the cycle system coming in the picture. I think many of us have realized, okay, we are totally different than men. It's not about being less or more. It's about supporting both the energies. Each one of us has a feminine, masculine, be it a man or be it a woman. So just knowing that the divine masculine and the divine feminine have to be in balance is what will reach us all the way. So I literally hosted my first moon circle on Sunday, first new moon circle, and had a very beautiful group of women at my place, and we did a very beautiful moon meditation and manifestation. We did talk about this, that things that used to feed us, like just a mother taking care of their child, or a mother cleaning the house, or just doing those womanly things doesn't make us any less. They are just in our system. Moon energy is also about nurturing, caring, being intuitive, being aware, and taking everyone with us. It doesn't mean you don't have to take care of yourself, you don't have to compete in your corporate life, don't have to earn equally. But nothing makes you less. Just do what feels right for you. And that's how energy would just rise. Maybe you are somebody, Shaina, who's very driven, very, a go-getter, and I can be your friend and I can like doing like slow things, being at my own pace, and nothing's wrong. Like there is no one box where we can fit that in energy as well, is my point. So whatever feels right for each individual is what is going on right now. So you do you is the whole point.
Exactly, and that is such a beautiful point. That, and again, as a woman or as a human or as a soul, I think it's more about equity than about equality.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own role to play in a certain system, in a certain lifetime, in a
Exactly.
certain process. And with opposites, things, when opposites are in the harmony, they create melodies. I remember that song, Ebony and Ivory living in the perfect harmony in the
Yeah,
piano keyboard. Why can't we? So
exactly.
that's how life is. And I think we are actually coming from the zone of patriarchy, passing through feminism, and now moving towards mutualism, which is the most beautiful thing that can
Exactly.
happen in the human race. What's your take on that?
But like, I just feel if we don't realize how you said, it's in our DNA, just taking the
Hmm.
patterns in. Okay, it's
Hmm.
literally if you didn't like something your parent did to you or
Hmm.
said to you, if you don't change it without even realizing, you do it to your own child. That's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Like if you
Hmm.
don't
Hmm.
recognize something you do not like and change it, you're bound to do the
Hmm.
same thing. So it's just about
True.
recognizing the things and the patterns that you need to change, you need to incorporate, you like, you don't like. Just that awareness again is what's gonna lead the way.
Yeah. Okay. So my next point of conversation would be, a lot of people are still confused about spirituality and materialism, and they are not able to gulp down the idea of materialistically rich spiritual people. There's a lot of, ho ho ha ha about,
Very
how people are
tricky
creating wealth
topic,
out
yeah.
of spiritual, professions. Now it is more like a spiritual profession.
Yeah, that's true. But the difference here is that, like, why do we have to think that, why do we need to attach that thought of people are making money? So,
Hmm.
example, if it's if it's organization, a spiritual organization, religious organization run on funds or a non-profit,
Hmm.
that's a totally different thing. But if you and I or anybody is doing this for a livelihood as well, like if I'm
Yes.
dedicating so much time and energy to learn the things,
Hmm.
impart knowledge on that basis, and if I'm charging something for my energy,
Yeah.
how's that wrong? And if it's
Hmm.
attaching that thought that money is bad and why are you telling me what to do? Why are you teaching me spiritual stuff or godly stuff and charging me for it? Then you need to run your own house, right? Like even in Gita,
Hmm.
it's written that spiritual duty doesn't mean that you don't do your personal duty. And my personal duty in
Yes.
life would be to take care of my life, to take care of my house, to take
Hmm.
care of my family. And anyone needs
Hmm.
money for that, right? So that also
True.
kind of becomes your karma. It becomes your karma yoga to do your
Hmm.
3D world duties before you
Yeah.
reach on to the 5D world things. You can't just leave,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Yes.
If you are a woodworker and you are
Hmm.
spiritual, you don't
Hmm.
leave that woodworking, okay? You do it with the utmost sincerity and you do it with so much passion, with that awareness. You keep doing,
Hmm.
like Lord Krishna also said, keep doing what you're doing and do it as if you're dedicating everything you do to God. Like even if
Yes.
it's cooking, like
Hmm.
sometimes we're like, why do I have to do this? Where's my cook? And why it always comes on to me? I'm so tired today. Putting all
Hmm.
your energy in that food. It's not no one's job, right? If
Hmm.
I'm a chef doing it for money, for if I'm just someone's wife doing it for as a duty, like I'm putting my energy into it. And
Yeah.
literally Gita
Yeah.
says that do everything you're doing as if you're offering it to God. So if just that thought
Awesome.
in your
Hmm.
occupation, be it spiritual occupation, be it any other occupation, any other job, just similar thought. Like I'm offering everything to God. And if I'm
True.
making money out of it, I have to. You can't live without money. And that's super practical way to life right now. We can't be like, okay, I'm gonna impart all the knowledge I have. How will I live
Hmm.
if I keep doing it? And that's a very later stage of spirituality, as you also know.
Yeah.
Like that's when you're very close to liberation. And I
Hmm.
think or you and I, or other spiritual influencers, or teachers, coaches, mentors might not be there yet. So
Yeah.
that's about it.
I hope conversations like this, train people
Exactly.
subconsciously
Yes.
about things that they need, and they should not feel bad, guilty, judgmental towards,
Absolutely.
profession, or as you very rightly said, spiritual influencers, such a beautiful thing कि आप नाच रहे हो गानों पे and the people are enjoying it. All the mindless things, very shrewd and very raw, or piece of entertainment, उससे बेहतर है you are getting something which is vibrationally high, and if it is making you feel lighter for a moment, I think nothing is bad. And when you need the proper help, you must run to the people who have the right kind of information, because I've been there, done that. There was a time, Yashna, when I was looking out for people and I was not able to get any. Trust me, I'm talking about 2014-15, when social media was not a big thing, when Zoom and all these things were not a big thing. And when I was looking out for help, it was very difficult. I had to go through books, and I had to go through certain, Google Meet was also not a thing. Skype we had, FaceTime kind of things we had, and we did that, Messenger video chats. I actually did that with my mentors when I started learning things for my self-healing, right? So there was a time. Now I think people have so much, we are lucky.
Yeah.
We are lucky to be in this life, this timeline.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are not able to be grateful for that. They're not grateful for that. They are living in such a beautiful world, where in my solo live yesterday, I was telling it that, earlier when people used to go to even to a satsang or meet to some mentor, they needed to put a lot of money, energy, time for going there and staying there, and everything. Now it's like click of a button. You can just go on the website of a certain ashram and you can get their meditation. You can get the meditation of the Brahma Kumaris, and you can get the meditation from Deepak Chopra Healing Center, and everything. Everything is so easy. But again, when things become easy, action becomes difficult.
That's true.
When there's a lot to choose from, action gets into problem. The action part gets into the problem.
Exactly. But Shaina, with spirituality, I think it's such a journey for everyone that it just happens when the time is right for each individual person. And these little nuggets, what you learn from Instagram or YouTube videos or even such lives, this information does count, and it comes back to you when you need it.
Yes.
And exactly, like action will only come when there's this that the
need,
urge to change is stronger than the intention of staying the same. Like when your pattern becomes so irritating for yourself, that's when you get that urge to change in that particular moment. And I think that's when it becomes useful and important to imbibe those practices in order to take action.
But my point is that only that हम बीमार होने के बाद ही डॉक्टर के पास क्यों जाना चाहते हैं? Why not take why not start affirming things? When I was working on my law of attraction process, I joined dots backwards, and I found that I was always a manifestor. Throughout my life, I was a magnetic manifester. I manifested amazing thing. Like I was having a huge crush on Shah Rukh Khan. He was my teenage crush, and I used to very bluntly say to my classmate who used to tease me, "अच्छा Shah Rukh Khan मिलने आएगा क्या? तू तेरे को बुलाएगा क्या?" And I used to say, "देखना वो मुझे मिलने आएगा." And trust me, Yashna, he came to my town for the first time, and I was the one who was choose to be the interviewer of that thing. And it was like I was a teacher in some college, and Yash Chopra died in that same year, and Jab Tak Hai Jaan happened, and they started their promotional tour with Shah Rukh Khan, Anushka Sharma, and Katrina Kaif from the college, from Yash Chopra's alumni. Yeah, and I happened to be a teacher for 2 years, a teacher of journalism for 2 years in that college, and that whole thing happened for the first time during that timeline only. So I was lucky to be in that timeline. I was the only one who was allowed on the stage. I interviewed him actually.
Wow.
There were so many professors who were amazing orators, who were amazing hosts, amazing anchors, and I was the one who just joined that college 2 years prior to this whole program. I don't know how they found me the
You
most suitable one
manifested
to
this to
interview him.
yourself.
Yeah, and I remember when I was in teen, I told one of my uh, classmate who was teasing me. I said, "देखना वो मुझे मिलने आएगा, मैं नहीं जाऊंगी, वो ही आएगा." And he came.
Exactly
And
to your
at that point of
college.
time, I was like, yeah. And that point, that was actually a very um, fine moment, or the moment of truth for me, Yashna. That very day, I was very overwhelmed. I was very happy
Wow.
that evening, and then I said, and at that point of time, I was actually struggling with a lot of things, because at that age, I was a mother of a 3 or 4 years child, and I was struggling with a lot of things with my health and my work and work life balance and all those stuff. And when this happened to me, I told myself, Shaina, if you've manifested this, no, other things that are happening not according to your energy were also manifested by you only.
Wow.
And
That's
that
such a
if you can
good
manifest this,
story.
yeah.
Exactly. That's so
And
huge.
from that very point, Yashna, I started learning a lot of law of attraction techniques. I still remember I was a teacher of journalism and film studies, and in my film study lectures, I actually sat my students with a big screen over there to show them a documentary called The Secret.
Ah,
That was the worst thing I did with my students, and it was not only for them, it was for me as well.
exactly.
So,
Revision.
and after that, my journey started, and I can very openly say it on this open platform that the books that I have read on law of attraction, you'll hardly find anybody who can tell you so much about law of attraction and
Yeah.
different parts
Right.
of it, because I've
Other
lived
than
that.
secrets as well, you've like you were
Yeah,
telling me
there's
how you
so
met
much,
the
so
best
much.
ones.
I'm sorry for being overwhelmed, but I had three people, artists whom I really used to love in my teenage and young age. Shah Rukh Khan for the Bollywood industry, for the films. Naseeruddin Shah, as I was a theatre artist and I was a big fan of his theatre, his dramas, and Mr. Jagdeep Singh. For the ghazals, yeah. And trust me, I met them all before turning 35,
So you
live.
manifested
And not,
meeting
and
all
yeah,
the
and not only that, I
favorites.
went there and took the autograph. When Shah Rukh Khan came, I was the interviewer. When Jagdeep Singh ji came, I was sitting in the front row because I was teaching in that college where he was an alumni, right? And he came for the last time of his which was his last concert here. And Naseeruddin Shah, when he came to my city, I was working with a newspaper who covered the whole stuff, and I attended the press conference. So it
Amazing.
was so planned by the universe. This is why I am telling you all these stories, because I want people to understand that ki, just be ready before it gets rain.
It
If
gets
you
there.
start living that
Yeah.
lifestyle, you have so many people who are talking about this, teaching this, और हमको लगता है सभी blah 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 कर रहे हैं आजकल, तो ये फैशन हो गया है. Please try it once. You never know
You
क्या
never
सामने
know
आ
what
जाए.
resonates
So
exactly.
the law of attraction thing was just a small example that I've given
Yeah.
you. There's much more beyond that, right?
Exactly. Makes so much sense.
So
And
yeah. So what ritual, Yashna, you would love to share?
okay, so basic, I did share the mindfulness work. I really appreciate people who incorporate movement in their practice, because as I said, stagnant energy creates like instant shift is movement. It can be anything. Yoga, amazing, of course, but if you want to dance, if you want to go to the gym, if you want to go running, just get going. I think that's super important. And journaling, like gratitude practice has helped all of us immensely. And as you said, manifesting relates to gratitude so much in my
Yeah.
point of view, because if you're not acknowledging what you already have,
Yes.
we literally are in realities which we prayed for, but we just keep looking forward that,
Yes.
why don't I don't have this now, I don't have that now. And then when you pause and you see that someday in the past you did pray for this and you have it, and you're literally asking for more without realizing what you already have. So I feel that's super important, gratitude. And there's a part of our brain, reticular activating system.
Mm.
I'll just say RAS. It's in our brain stem. It's a bundle of nerves. Okay, what it does, it's a filter system, China. Now,
Mm.
if we both are in a party and there's like loud music, if I start calling Shaina, you would turn. Even the
Yeah.
music is so loud, whatever's the case, because it's a filter system. Your brain knows that
Yeah.
it's Shaina. Okay.
True.
And if someone says Shah Rukh Khan, you would turn and see because your brain knows we like Shah Rukh Khan.
Mm. Yeah.
But our brain does this for everything that's familiar. It doesn't do it only for good or bad. So,
Yeah.
example, if you think about if you want to buy a red car, now on the road, every red
You
car
see
you see, you'll be like red car, red car. But you
red
see
car.
all the cars. It's just that your mind
Yeah.
is wired right now to see all the red cars. So
Yes.
again, thinking is super important. I'm telling this as a part of ritual that please be observant of your thoughts. If you think that in a party or wherever you're going or in a circle, why is everyone so mean? If your mind is thinking that way, every encounter you have, you will pick evidence up for someone's meanness. And be like, why is everything so nice here? So again, every time you meet someone, oh, they were so polite and they were so kind to me and they were so nice. They offered me a drink. They offered me this. So it's literally your perception that's creating your reality. In the most simplistic terms, everything we are doing is a perception, is a reflection of ourselves. So
Exactly.
please be observant of your thoughts, and that's my little ritual. You can do affirmations to make your thoughts positive. You can do meditations. Soul talk is what I say to my affirmation practice right now. Like I literally catch myself thinking, okay, is this jealousy? Is this jealousy that's popping in? And I welcome that feeling. Or is this fear? Or is this just being rude? If I think about somebody, oh, why did she talk to me like that? And okay, she talked to me like that. She might be going through something in her own life. Like before jumping to conclusions or becoming that judge of character or that egotistic person, I really request everyone to be very mindful and observant of what they are thinking, what they are feeling. Can they give a different narrative to the entire story? Because that is the narrative that's driving your life and your reality. So just understanding that would really, really help. And forgiveness is something that I've started practicing.
Yes.
Let go, forgive, super, super helpful. Thinking that we are all created by the same God and we have so much good and innocence in all of us, and humans are bound to make mistakes. Not talking about crimes here, not talking about something very huge like cheating, this, that. Talking about the little things, like stop using absolutes, like this person's always like that, or my in-laws are always like that, my husband's always like that, or my friends are always like that. Don't do that. Just think about that particular moment. Something happened right now. How can I solve this? Instead of being like giving that judgment about somebody, this person's always doing this, or you never
always
take
like
me
that.
out, you never do that. Stop using absolutes. Stay in that present moment is something I also want to say. Plus meditation in the basic form, just connect with your breath. Breath is the feeling of being alive. I think there's no better practice than breath work and movement to start your practice. Read the scriptures, read so much good. As you said, you've read every book on manifestation, and that's what has brought you here in life. I feel there's a lot out there, and we need to break out from the bubble we live in. We live in a very small circle. See beyond it, reading, watching, listening to podcasts, everything about the topic you're interested in would really help.
True. And one last thing that I really want all the people who are here or listening it in live or recording, please let us know your takeaways, because actually really I'm genuinely telling this, Yashna. This is one of the lives which had a lot of information,
Thank you.
which can be practically used. One last thing that I would love to tell you all, especially on the day, this is Yoga Day, World Music Day, summer solstice, so everything is happening so nicely. So I am just giving you one pointer from my side. This is just the one thing that you can take away from me is just start affirming I'm open for possibilities. Trust me, when you'll open up yourself, when you'll be in surrender without attaching to the needs or the wants or the desires. Just stay every
Right.
morning when you wake up. Yeah, just say I'm open for possibilities. More than the opportunities, you will get the possibilities, and trust me, possibilities are the mega highest version of opportunities,
Yeah.
right? Because कितनी possibilities हैं हमारे लिए हम भी नहीं जानते. We have a very limited perspective. So just be open to possibilities. Just start chanting this as a mantra. Take it, use it, and with this only you can create magic in your life. And thank you so much, Yashna, for being such a beautiful
Thank
and
you,
such a
Shaina, for having
amazing
me.
guest.
Thank
पता ही नहीं
you
चला
so
time
much.
कहाँ उड़ गया, and
Well,
I can still talk so much with you.
I know.
But of course
We'll
we'll
catch up.
find another time as well.
Yeah,
We'll get
definitely.
together again. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you have any question from me and Yashna, you can DM us both. So don't forget to follow us both if you haven't done. If you have any takeaways from this session, please let us know in the comment box when we'll post this as a post. Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Ravina, for being so loving and sending all the loving compliments. Yeah. Thank you, Yashna,
Thank
once
you so
again,
much.
and I hope
Thank
to see you again.
See you. Take care. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful evening.